Hello guys and welcome back to the GosuCup Southeast Asia broadcast. This is week 9 and we have once again, broadcasting the matches, the semi and the grand finals for you today. For those of you who don't know, we are streaming the GosuCup Southeast Asian tournaments, which are, open cups held every Saturday for exclusively for players from the Southeast Asia region. The GosuCup ACA is the primary way for players from this local region to gain points and earn hard cash, start their way on the road to BlizzCon. And again, every week we are bringing you the top four, the semifinals and the grand finals of the tournament. And we have our first semifinalist here. But before we go into the game, I'm again joined here by my dear Gosu Gamers colleague Nomlix. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm fine, thanks, and hopefully I'm here for some awesome matches.
Yeah, well, last week it was a pretty quick 3-0s and 3-1s all across the
Yeah,
board. So let's see if these games are quick as well today. I'm hoping they're not. Although we had a pretty long cup, we had some delays in the morning, some problems with the side, but everything's been resolved now. We're down to the top four players, and in the upper bracket, I mean the top half of the bracket, we have. Let me check. We have Pandorica from Singapore versus Keps, who is also from Singapore. So the country really representing last week. I think it was again basically the same thing. Singapore ran away with the championship. In Arangkok. Oh no, Keps is from Indonesia. I'm sorry. So Pandorica from Singapore versus Keps from Indonesia. This will be our first game that we'll stream today. Just waiting for the guys to exchange screenshots, to pick ban, etc. Now the classes, and they're going right into the game. But Nomlinks, quite exciting here, and it's going to be a weekend full of Hearthstone. We have also the Game House Cup happening, later today in the Dracula Castle. There's been pretty crazy games there, right?
yeah, it's Game House Cups have always been exciting to watch because, especially of the unique format they have, and yeah, hopefully also some awesome games.
For those of you who are missing this, this is probably the biggest tournament of the month. Having big players as well as some unknown names coming from China, from Korea, against the best that the West has to offer. And we have already Thysonel, Roger, Firebat, and Life Coach advancing to the playoffs, and more games will happen today. Before we determine the playoffs, guys. But again, we're here for GosuCup Southeast Asia business, and we're just waiting for the guys to finish their pick phase. Looking back at the GosuCup Southeast Asia, we've seen a lot of great champions, a lot of great players. We've had several repeat champions. We had Nelio, two-time GosuCup 2015 winner. We also had last week we had Aaron Koch, who is again one of the best players in the region. But at least looking at this semifinal, the first one, neither of these players I think have played any GosuCup grand final. I'm pretty sure the Pandorica hasn't. Keps it. I've known him from previous GosuCups, but he's not a champion, I think. So again, we might get a whole new winner this week.
Yeah, we might find some unseen talent here and see how good they can perform here.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we've never casted them either. Like they haven't been
So
in the semifinals as well. So again, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know these guys' styles. It's going to be quite a new experience. Looking at the bottom half of the bracket, we have Techway, aka Silent Storm, but not the Silent Storm you might know, who's from the Singapore, waiting for the winner of Nexok from Indonesia, and Waning Moon from the Philippines. So Waning Moon, everybody knows Waning Moon. Like even the West is familiar with the name. He's probably the best player and the most established player in the Southeast Asia region. He won 3 GosuCups last season. He played at big stages like IM Shenzhen. He almost made it to the Pinnacle 4 main event. I think he came one game short of qualifying. He was in a three-way tiebreaker with Forsenen. Who was the other guy? Can't remember anymore, but definitely a guy who has a lot of experience playing in big tournaments. We still don't know if he will be the one advancing to the semifinals, but if this semifinal, the first one, has quite a bit of known names, the second semifinal promises to be a big hitter. Really. Oh, actually, yeah, I just refreshed the bracket, so Winning Moon has advanced, so we'll definitely see him play later today. I'll just message him to know that he should tune in to watch the first semifinal, though. But again, so we are waiting for the Keps and Pandoric to pick their classes, but Nomics, judging from the past weeks that we've casted, the players we've casted, what kind of classes are you expecting to see in the first semifinal?
Well, we saw a lot of Patron Warrior, which is like the number one deck at the moment on ladder mostly, and in such open tournaments like we have here, it's often you bring your strong ladder decks with you to just play here. So I think Patron Warrior is a stable deck. We can expect to see a lot in this.
Yeah.
So,
Also, Hunter has been, a big favorite in Warlock, I think, in the Southeast Asian region, which is not actually surprising because these are the strongest class in the moment by popular opinion. Face Hunter recently got a new archetype with a hybrid Hunter, something that came out of Proto Hype, a player currently on Team Illuminati, if I'm not mistaken. So, and Warlock will always be strong, and as long as it has the two stable archetypes with Zoo and Handlock. But yeah, we've seen a lot of these classes. I actually wrote an article on the Southeast Asian metagame, and I'll just bring you up the stats for you, um, just so we can know what to expect. In terms looking at last month, Warlock, Hunter, and Mage actually have been the three most popular classes in Southeast Asian region. Warlock leading the charge with 37%, being picked in the games. Warrior and Druid come in to fill up the top 5, and almost nobody's playing Paladin, Rogue, Priest, and Shaman, which again is not really surprising because these classes have been generally considered weaker in the metagame. In terms of win rates, though, Druid has been, the big score with 55%, even though pro players don't seem to think it's good in Conquest. And Hunter and Warrior follow with 52 and 51%. Probably not too surprising of numbers, is it?
yeah, it's mostly Druid is just a stable deck. If you have Wild Growth, it wins. It has no counters and most likely wins everything. Without it, it may lose everything, but that just makes it, in general, a acceptable deck. But yeah, that might speak for the win rate it has here.
Yeah, but in mages wise, I think we've seen mostly freeze mage, if I'm not mistaken, like not so much mech.
Yeah,
Which is surprising because considering freeze mage is thought to be one of the most difficult deck to play in all of Hearthstone, maybe up there with Handlock and Green Patron, and yet we've seen Southeast Asian players, who the scene is generally considered weaker for some reason compared to the West. Players have had great success with it.
yeah. I think Freeze Mage is also really strong in the after Black Mountain. It got much stronger, and in general in Conquest, it's easier to get a win out with it compared to earlier in Last Hero Standing. It just got instantly countered by something. So that's what made Freeze Mage so much stronger than before. And we see a lot of picks here.
Yep. I will. So Keps and Pandorica are ready to go. We're just gonna find out their classes, uh, and we will jump straight into the game now. Let's see where they're going to play.
asked for it.
I must protect the wild.
So we have Keps on Druid versus Pandorica on Mage. So let's see what kind of mage this is, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's freeze mage again, and it is freeze mage again. So people generally think that Druid is favored in this matchup, but I've played a lot of both, and if the mage gets, all its draws, it's almost impossible for Druid to win unless, the Druid ramps up really quickly into a combo.
Yeah, the combo is here really important, and if the mage can get his freezes and stuff to delay the game, it might get a good shot at winning it. But the constant pressure coming out of the Druid is just really strong against the mage, and we see Keps here with a really strong start. The coin Wild Growth into Innovate 5-drop in the next turn.
Yeah. He also has low tap, which is absolutely crucial against freeze mage, because you can if you save it for his Alexstrasza turn, it's almost impossible for the mage to win, because when he Alexstrazzas, he knows that he has next turn to kill the Druid. If he can't do it, usually the Druid essentially buys another turn, which is most often than not all he needs to kill the mage.
But here we see something really interesting, the Mana Worm. Like, that's a quite unusual card for freeze mages.
Is it possible that he's playing something like Tiddler Celestial's deck, which has, very early game pressure with Leopard Gnomes and Mana Worms, and then just freezes and delays until he can burst you down?
Yeah, but it looks like his start is, that's the Leopard Gnome, so most likely it is that, but for that deck he had a horrible start then.
Yeah. Wow, so yes, it is. Oh god, I love it, I love it.
Really interesting to see him picking this.
So guys, I know that this is unusual, but to your luck, we've actually written quite an extensive guide on the mage. You can go to GosuGamers and you can find Tiddler Celestial's Burst Mage. You can find all the deck lists, the play style. It's one of the most interesting decks I've seen, as far as mages come, but I haven't seen him for a long time. It was popular around the VIA Game House Cup 2, maybe, so was that like 3 months ago or something? And since then we've had a lot of new cards coming up, and I don't know how the deck performs right now. I mean, Torison makes it stronger, but then again, it's a very difficult deck to play overall. And
I feel like this strong factor about it is at the moment that it's just a surprise. Like, I don't think Keps has any really good idea what he's facing here yet.
Does he give a damn though? Because he already has 13 damage on the board.
Yeah.
And he's just destroying the mage here, and the deck is all about, you have to have the early drops, you have to have the Leopard Gnomes, you have to have a strong Mana Worm start, so you have to burn down approximately half of your opponent's HP by the mid game, so then you can just Frost Nova, Ice Block, and then just burn him down. But we're already on turn 7, the Druid is in 25 health, and he has lethal on the board.
Yeah, with either Force of Nature or the Swipe, he can pop the block exactly and kill the Emperor, so he's in a quite good spot. And the early pressure that this Burn Mage has didn't get to its best here, so yeah.
It's a cool choice from Pandorica, but it will not work in this series at all. He's getting the burst, but it's way too late.
Yeah, he's like one turn late into it. If he would have the chance to get the next turn Pyroblast, he could have maybe tried to burn it, but yeah, with his second block being already popped now, there's like no chance he's still winning this.
Yeah, I think he has to start burning and hoping for Frost Nova. Like, if he has, he has Force of Nature though, so never mind. Like, there was a possibility to get all the Frost spells and just freeze both the Druid and the board, but with Force of Nature it's not possible. Like, he has to kill him this turn.
Yeah, but that's well. Also, last turn he played the swipe to kill the Emperor, and I would have kind of liked to play the Force of Nature there because the swipe would bypass the
True,
armor.
yeah.
So maybe keeping the direct spell damage there would have been wise choice, but he was already so far ahead that it
Yeah.
didn't make a difference at all.
So Keps goes 1-0 and his druid is eliminated. Unfortunately, I don't have the classes for you guys. I'll try to find them out for you. So yeah, the druid is logged, but the mage is still open, and the mage has the potential. Like, if it gets a great start, it can beat any deck. I've tested it extensively on ladder, and it also beats paladins and warriors, which are usually considered, you know, hard counters to mages, to aggressive mages at least. So Pandorica picked Warlock, Mage, and Hunter. I'll just put it in here. Sorry. So Keps has Mage and Warlock left against the entire lineup of Pandorica, which is Warlock, Mage, Hunter. And we know the Mage, but we don't know the Warlock or the Hunter. And Pandorica rolls off with a Burst Mage as well, and Keps is going with a Handlock. And I can tell you this is extremely extremely good matchup for this kind of Mage. But once again, slow start from Pandorica. He doesn't get any one-drops from his opening hand. The way you actually beat this is you disregard, I mean, you just go for full face against the handlock. You don't care about the giants, because you can freeze them, you can ice block them, and if the handlock is low, you can kill him. The only thing that screws you up is something like double heal bot, and there is the first heal bot. So even though it's a good matchup for the mage, it's starting horribly. Like, he basically has to coin something here.
Like, the mage here has all the opportunities early without, if the handlock wouldn't get his board clear and stuff early. Like, but we already see the Hellfire. It's just the perfect matchup for him because he can pressure early, and then the rest, when in most cases a handlock would come up with stuff like giants, taunts, then the mage just has the burn in his hand to finish it up.
Yeah, so again, he coins out the Mad Bomber here and gets 2 to the face for the handlock, which is good. And Keps decided to Sun Fury here to contest the Bomber and not choosing to life tap.
Yeah, most likely he knows what kind of deck this is, and
I mean, he already saw it, so yeah. And as I said, you just go for full face. You don't care at all about board control. But, you know, this is absolutely crucial. Like, you know, silencing the draw, especially in this moment when Pandorica hand is kind of bullshitty.
yeah.
Okay. This kind of weak. Twilight Drake, usually see them, you know, at least 4/7s, 4/8s from handlock.
But like in this case, you don't need it bigger. It's just to contest the board, maybe to taunt it up. But there's a lot of burn in the hand already.
Yeah, it's like all the big spells are here. I'm actually surprised to see he's running a Pyroblast, if you saw. So the original list doesn't have it. It usually just does the Frostbolt Icelands combo. So okay, hello Mana Worm. 4 turns too late, but so the low tap is really good because it will force the opponent to trade into it. But then again, so is the Sledge Belcher.
Yeah, like all the early pressure he got down now is just cancelled out with the heal bot, so he's not in that good of a spot again.
This is what I'm talking about. Like if the Warlock stabilizes with a heal or two, it slides out for the Mage. He will play another Twilight Drake here and clear the Lothep just because he doesn't want to get any more damage. But you know, by this time again, the Handlock or any other player should be at half health, and unfortunately for Pandorica, he's drawing his deck backwards really.
Yeah.
Now, like you don't want fireballs in your hand, you don't want frostballs in your hand. All you want is 1 mana minions, draw, I mean loot hoarder and stuff like arcane missile.
But would you maybe have fireballed the Drake here?
I would have, yeah, I would have, definitely. Like I don't know why he chose to arcane missiles here, because you won't kill the Twilight Drake, and you know it can soak up a lot of damage. You want all the damage to go face.
Yeah, that's like all the burn he has in his hand, so he has to go now and hope for no heal.
Yeah, the Sludge Belcher basically creates, you know, an impassable blockade for all of Pandorica's minions. So again, now he gets them out. He should be really pissed. Like I would be very pissed. But he's starting to burn, he's getting closer, but there's another heal bot. And as we said, you know, the second heal bot just makes you cry. Because this would have been a winnable game if there wasn't a second heal bot. Because Pandorica would have survived for these turns. Like, there are 13 damage in the hand, but... Okay, he's punching, but... Like, he actually needs to find his... Wow! Is it still possible then?
Like he got all of his important burn, so
Okay, that's 20 damage in hand. There are no more heals for the handlock. So do you just, let's say, ping the owl and freeze? Yeah, and freeze the giant, so you can buy yourself extra turns.
yeah. At this point, it's important to ping every single turn. Because it's just no resource damage, like you don't spend any card on it. And that's the kind of free damage you get in there.
He's dead though, like he will Hellfire here and pop the block.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And this means that Keps won.
If we don't see the other block coming up. No.
I mean, even if there was a block, it was an empty turn. Oh god, so...
Yeah.
Pandorica came so close, but double heal bot plus the Hellfire. Perfect draws from Warlock, perfect draws. I don't think there was anything he could have done actually.
And 2 times in a row, Pandorica didn't have the draw he wanted to. Yeah. So the really slow starting hands. So Keps has his own mage left?
Yes, so it will be mage versus the entire lineup.
Depending on which mage it is, it's really likely that it will pick off one win against any of those decks. Like we didn't see the other decks of Pandorica yet.
Yeah, it's again like this deck can beat almost anything if you get a good start. You know the mage that Pandorica is playing, but he's not getting these good starts, and I'm almost, you know, tempted to leave. Like if I was him, I would just leave the mage deck rest. And yeah, he's doing exactly that. He knows that there's maybe a frost mage and zombie chows. Is this a grinder mage? Like zombie chow and polymorph in the hand. It does look like this. Oh yeah, and we have Ragnaros. It definitely looks like a... Yeah, and the Sludge Belcher basically sells. So this will be some kind of duplicate / Echo of Medivh, you know, Grinder Mage. We've seen a lot of Major Domo lists coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the first time we see Major Domo in competitive Hearthstone.
Yeah, but I think the Hunter shouldn't be a really good matchup because the hero power can just be the constant pressure, but with the zombie chout's start is just so strong.
And he doesn't even have to waste the zombie chow because there's a
Yeah.
crossbolt. And but he keeps drawing, you know, knife jugglers. And again frostbolt, so oh man, Keps is getting all the draws he needs, man. It's almost irritating. Like this is a like if I face this guy on ladder, I just go insane. Like come on, this is really not fair. So a bit of
Also the Leod, yeah, giving no pressure.
no. Oh man, Pandorica should be kicking himself in the butt. He's not having great semi-final draws at all. He's going full face. Okay, and this makes sense.
Yeah, it's fine.
But oh man, the Sludge Belcher is probably one of the most difficult cards to deal with as Hunter. But there is Iron Big Owl, which will open the way through for the Sludge Belcher for the Pelt Shredder to hit for 6 even.
Iron Big Owl is really strong against the Sludge Belcher of a Grinder Mage because secret-wise, Grinder Mages should also play the duplicates, and while silencing you don't need to kill the Belcher, so you kind of find your way around the duplicate there.
But I'm still worried about the Hunter because there's double Flame Strike, so he can deal with 2 populations of the board. But
Oh, the high main.
oh, he cannot even clear the high main clearly here. So, okay, I think this is just a Flame Strike plus trade away everything move, maybe.
Yeah, it's too greedy to let a attack from the high main through or something. There's just too much damage you get in there.
So what's the secret he got? So it's a duplicate. So
duplicate,
he
yeah.
didn't even check what kind of secret it is. So do these mages play anything else other than duplicate? Maybe one ice block for good measure.
Yeah, in rare cases they could play ice block. That's, I guess, the only thing that's still in there. So he thought about it being maybe a counter spell or something, because it's still not sure what kind of mage this is.
I mean, if you see the zombie chow and the belcher, and
Yeah.
now you know 100% what deck this is. But
Getting the zombie shows is not the strong thing he wants. He wants to get those belchers duplicated in this matchup. But
Yeah.
the zombie shows is still... He doesn't need to get damage in there, so the heal doesn't really matter, and it's still a strong minion. He can fill his curve with it.
actually, the
Double kill command in hand. He can just go all in here.
yeah, I was just going to say that the mage is not out of the water at all because he's at 2 HP, so he needs something like right now.
Heal bots
That's
are
not
in
it.
there.
That's
Yeah.
not it. That's
Let's see, maybe he knows what traps he runs and he can suicide his scientist to get the ice block if he has it.
he doesn't.
Seems like he
so-
doesn't.
So not even Trang says that he isn't running an ice block maybe because
Yeah.
I would have definitely tried. But again, so at least it won't be a 3-0. You know, Pandorica gets on the board with his Hunter, which is unlimited. So he has Warlock and Mage against the Mage, and now that you know it's a Grinder Mage, you can actually go the Celestial Mage and hope it doesn't screw you over like last games.
It should be really fine because until the point that the grinder mage can stabilize with stuff like Belchers
Yeah.
and so on, the celestial burn mage just wants to freeze the board and start pressuring with spells maybe, so it should be a good matchup for him.
Okay, so it's a Grinder Mage against Handlock now, and it's really exciting because I love control matchups. I think in control matchups, the true best player shows more so than, for example, you know, in Magic the Gathering, I found that Aggro mirrors are more difficult than control mirrors, for example. But I think it's the other way in Hearthstone, just because of how many options you have each turn as a control player. So finding the best way to play your turn against the best ways of your opponent proves who is the better player. I think in aggro in Hearthstone is a bit more straightforward, and it's all about counting damage and minding your own life. But I do love the control mirrors a lot.
Just in those slow control games, there's so many different approaches you can have, and that way you have so many different options to go with, and this is what makes the
Exactly.
matchup so interesting.
So, and especially Warlock has so many answers against everything. Like there are silences for Sledge Belchers. There are things like Siphon Soul against the big threats like Ragnaros. There's a Mortal Coil against small minions. Even though the Grinder Mage doesn't really play Mortal Coil targets. But let's see. The Handlock. What are his options here? So it's kind of an awkward turn because he can't really play anything, and
Uh,
he
I might consider just double model coiling here.
double mold calling is good. I would do it as well. I mean, yeah, if you do it, you just wow, okay, so that's a draw off the top. So this beats a double mortal coil definitely. But we know that there's a big aim hunter, so it's not going to be a fun turn for Pandorica.
Without the big game hunter, this giant would be such a huge problem for the grinder mage, because without polymorphs or big game hunters, he has no good way of dealing with those big minions, because like the flame strike is his general board clear and it just does close to nothing in the beginning to those giants.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think just Asian Watcher plus Defender of Ogres is the play here, because you don't really want to waste double Molotov here and now, or Hellfire or stuff like this just for one big game hunter.
But knowing what kind of mage it is, you might want to Hellfire or something just to get closer to your Molten Giants, because that's something you want to get on your Molten Giants as early as possible, because you know that he won't pressure you, but he goes for the Watcher August play here.
I think that's the safer play. Okay, yeah.
See Gadden there. It's an interesting take.
I mean, I think the standard deck runs it now, so it has Boom, Antonidas, Ragnaros, Geddon, and I think Alex Straze is his big guys. Will he play the? Oh, he's not going to play the explosive sheep.
I guess he just prepared the explosive sheep if he's not going to trade the August into the big game hunter. Then there's the explosive sheep, but I guess he will now the sheep can get something done here.
No. I mean, he can pop the Belcher. I guess this is, or he can also play. He can also play Boom. Flame Strike is, how good is Flame Strike here? Not really good.
No. I think
Maybe
sheep ping and developing the scientists could be good here. Oh well, Gadden kinda does the same.
Why this the Asian Watcher though wouldn't be better to just kill the half of the Belcher with the get on trigger and just leave the unattacking Sludge Belcher? I mean Asian Watcher, sorry.
Yeah, maybe it was, but I guess he just wanted to get rid of the Watcher as well. And here, the Molten Giant, as I said earlier, he wants to get him out as early because there's so much pressure against this, and the answers to it are really rare.
So, given the fact that this is a duplicate in play, they just go for Ragnaros,
I think so.
and it hope you. Oh wow! What is he trying?
I guess he doesn't want to take the money shot for
Yeah,
the slime. Oh, no, the Gadden would go off first, so huh. I think Ragnaros would have been really strong here.
Yeah.
Because Gaddon triggers first, and then it's basically a 50-50 to either kill the Molten Giant, which gives you total board control and pressure, or bring your opponent down to 8 HP, which is just as strong.
Oh, he's okay. Pandorica keeps dropping giants and okay. So, okay, what? Why did he drop the giant first?
If he, yeah,
That was weird. Because now the giant will die to a flame strike and ping if he wants to.
yeah, I guess he
Was this like? I don't see there's any.
could have also played it the other way around. So
Yeah, like there isn't like any exquisite plan here, right? I think he just misplayed. Like, it's not like playing around mirror entity or something.
yeah, that's again a strong play here, killing both giants with the Gaddon. The other way around, it would have survived, and now he's in a really good position.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Well, he would be with like Ragnaros, but now the board looks kind of tough for him. At this point, he kind of, to clear the board, to at least get a shot of clearing the board, he needs to flame strike, but that way he's getting really low and doesn't develop the board.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to go full defensive, I guess the play is a flame strike and cheap,
Yeah,
and you know even zombie chow is not out of the question. Okay, so this will deal 4 damage actually.
yeah, he just goes for the Gaddon here.
Will he though? Because you will deal 6 damage with the sheep and the flame strike. I mean, when the sheep dies, like you cannot
Sure.
really kill the giant here. So I don't see why you play Gaddon. Sure, you have something on the board, but I don't know.
I guess it was more important for him to develop the minion, because yeah, if he would only flame strike, he doesn't get to develop at all and just falls further behind. So maybe this is his way of getting a shot at still winning the game. Like, he played to maybe win instead of losing it, instead of not to lose, like that way.
So no, this is a good moment to flame strike and ping, and this will clear almost every threat there is. I mean, there will be a watcher. What? Okay, that's another way to go. He wants to clear everything,
Uh,
but it's oh man, and Jiraxxus will be such a good value. You know, Jiraxxus at the end of the game, like if you don't have a way to burst it down, it just crushes you. And you know, the Grinder Mage don't have a way to burst you. Like, this is why they're called Grinder Mage. They rely on getting more and more value over the course of a long game, but when you're dying, they're not really in a good position. So he's dead now. Simple as that.
Yes.
There's no tone to stop the Jiraxxus attack. There's no way to freeze it. There's no way to kill him. Like Ragnaros would deal, you know, 8 damage plus 2 from the zombie chow, that would be 10, so 5 short. And again, you know, Keps concedes. Well, we have a tight game. We wish for it. We got it.
That was an interesting matchup there.
And now we have Mage against Mage, so it will be the Celestial Burst Mage against the Grinder Mage of Keps. And we mentioned this, you know, earlier in the broadcast, that if Pandorica gets his early start for once, the Grinder Mage just dies. Like it takes so long of a time to actually develop and outvalue your opponent with a Grinder Mage that you know, the burst mage can just kill you. And already we see some good start. He just needs to drop the arcane intellect here, and wow.
But the thing is, towards the mid game, again, not a good start, but towards the mid game, if the grinder mage gets like the
Yeah,
belches out there and stuff.
oh man, oh god, this mage is really not having a good day. You know that Firebat, one of the best players in the world, says he knows how games are going to end by turn 2. This is one of those games. Oh god, betrayed even by his own bomber.
Yeah, that's basically this
This is
bomber summarizes this game and
yeah.
his mage draws.
I mean, Keps can do whatever the hell he wants. He can frostbolt here and go for face. He can ice barrier and maybe even trade for the duplicate. Like, why is he actually? Like, I would have sacrificed the mad scientist to get value, because if you draw all your secrets, it's kind of bad. But oh man, ThePandorica is playing this like a frost mage. He's not getting any early game pressure. And look at the water elemental, more damage, and the water elemental are so persistent and hard to kill. Oh, the double pyroblast on turn 4.
Uh-oh.
At this point, I mean, I really applaud his decision to bring this kind of mage, because it's really strong. It comes as a surprise, but when you get beat out by your own deck, it's not a pleasant feeling. Like, I'm really disappointed of what you brought. I mean, it got him so far. Oh god! And again, it's what, the third time now that the mana worms come on turn 5.
It just didn't draw. Like this deck is. I feel like it's really draw dependent because
It's extremely draw dependent, yeah.
It has the parts of an aggro deck and a really aggressive deck, which is always draw dependent. But the problem about this is that the other half of the deck are cards you would never want in your starting hands. So that's quite a problem for this deck so far.
Yeah, the deck has basically 3 steps, and this is how I wrote it in the guide. You want, step 1 is the damage, the burst one. Like, you start with Leper Gnomes, you start with Mana Worms, and you just hit face. You play it like a Cancer Hunter. Step 2 is having draws and delay spells, like Frost Nova and Ice Block, to survive after your board pleasure has been cleared, because unlike Face Cutter, you don't have endless supplies of early game minions. You only have your Mana Worms, Leper Gnomes, and Mad Bombers and Loot Hoarders as your attack minions. Everything else is draw, like Acolyte of Pain is a utility minion, and that's basically all you have. So this is step 2, the glue, the draw and the freeze. And step 3, the final one, is the burst, where you have to Frostbolt and Ice Lance and Pyroblast and Fireballs to just destroy your opponent. But the opponent has to be at a low level. When he's at 30, it's not really good, especially when there's like Flame Strike and do whatever he wants. And
basically, he went all in here with his minions. Hope they stick and deal a lot of damage, but Flame Strike just clears it all, and the Zombie Jar follow-ups also secures that there's no other minions.
Mad Scientist, when there's already a secret in play, also not good.
Yeah, does he play Ice Barriers?
I don't think so, no. But you know what? I mean, if there wasn't an Antonidas or Dr. Boom, ThePandorica could have still been in the game, because he has a lot of bursts. Like, I'll give him that. But,
But if there wouldn't be Antonidas or Boom, there might be heal bots and stuff like that. So that just different cards which can lose you the game. Wow.
Now,
But he has a lot of burst again.
it's important for him not to attack. It's absolutely crucial, and he knows this, so this is good. Can he
can
actually
pop the block next
there's
turn.
double ice lands.
Yeah.
He
Can pop it next
he
turn.
can actually win this.
And there's only 15 damage coming from.
Yeah. Oh god, he will win this. Like
But
there's
it all depends on how the ice block draws or something turn out to be now. And, well, he has the Mad Scientist out, so he's 100% getting his ice block
Yeah.
when he needs it.
oh god, he will win.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he can
this
also
is
pop
game.
with the
This is
Pyro
game.
Blast.
Jesus Christ, how are we so blind? Oh man, I have to give mad props to Pandorica. Oh
He drew a lot this game. He's already down to 7 cards in his deck, and
yeah.
well, that made it.
Oh god, I love this guy. I now hope he
Wow.
wins.
It was surprising in the end. He got all his burn to win the game.
Oh man, really good games.
Yeah. Exciting series to watch with decks we don't usually see, so
Yeah, grinder mages, burst mages. I mean, everything else was pretty standard, but you know, this is why I love mage